we looked at rare disease submissions from 6 different HTA agencies, from the UK, from Canada, from France, Germany, Australia, and across the EU NETA. And we looked at 11 orphan diseases, things like tuberous sclerosis complex, Pompe disease, and Dravet syndrome. And we went into depth into how many of those agencies sort of looked at the contribution of the patient voice, looked at the contributions of clinical experts who were sort of have specific skill sets in their field, and looked at the contribution of real world evidence. And what we found that the patient voice was included quite widely across the different submissions. About 3/4 of them had patient survey data or patient testimonials, but it did vary quite a lot by agency, by different countries. So all the NICE submissions in the UK and in Canada and in the EU included the patient voice. Most of the submissions in France included patient contributions. About half submissions to Australia included patient perspectives, but quite a small number of submissions to Germany, GBA and IQWiC, about 1/4, included the patient voice. So one of our recommendations was that across agencies, it would be really good if patients with lived experiences are embedded in all new drug submission processes. And this sort of aligns with public patient involvement standards in research that are becoming more and more important. So I think our poster presents some really interesting and quite unexpected data. So, for example, the contribution of real-world evidence in the orphan disease space was quite high in terms of the number of randomized controlled trials that were used as key data sources. We expected to find mostly real-world evidence, but even in these small, rare patient populations, we found a lot of RCT data. And there are quite a few other interesting trends that we found. For example, NICE in the UK and HAS in France seem to be slightly more accepting of and place a greater emphasis on real-world evidence than other agencies. So our poster is being presented by Dr. Shona Lang in the first poster session at ISPOR on the 13th of November. We're poster 131005, so make sure you check it out at the conference. Thanks, everyone.